Mark is a motherfucking man, bro.
500 days. That's how long I lived in Austin. I moved there to do comedy, and
I'ma move back. I don't like none of this shit. Nope. Look, this is not me saying don't go to Austin for comedy. If you want to do comedy, Austin might be a good scene. I mean, it's the cheapest option if you're looking at the three biggest cities for comedy right now anyway, between New York, LA, and Austin. It's cheaper, it's a newer scene, it's an influx of a lot of bigger name comedians out there. So it might be good for you. But when you in a place like Austin, you don't realize it, but you are in a sea of people trying to make it, especially in a time where people get rich and famous off of the most minute things, the lowest form of effort. And sometimes it feels like Austin is a cesspool of narcissistic people who have no self-awareness. It's weird to go into a place where nobody gives a fuck about who you are, even on a human level, until they see that you good at the one thing everybody moved out there to do. That's weird. It's weird as hell. There's a lot of weirdo shit that went down in Austin in the comedy scene. I'll explain a little bit later. I say it's about
4.
types of people that need to move to Austin.
New comedians. Comedians with a lot of followers. If you know somebody that knows somebody, aka Joe. And lastly,
dick suckers. It's a lot of dick suckers.
Basically, if you're good at being fake, just to suck up to semi-famous people, you good. I feel like where I'm at in my career, almost 10 years of doing stand-up, I was not getting the type of opportunities I came out there for. There was very little help. It was a whole lot of gatekeeping on how to get to certain things. When it came time for like life-changing opportunities, that information was rarely being given. I'm not the networking type of dude. I do the one thing I've always been doing since I started, which was get on stage and put everything on stage. Cause that's what we're here for. That's what I was understanding. This is why we doing this shit, to show what we do on stage. And I let that shit speak for itself. That's how I got every opportunity. It was hard for me to be where I was and to be as good as I had been for almost 2 years and not getting even half as much as people who are not even 2 years in yet or not even talented, to be honest. So it got old because I ain't never stopped nobody from or try to stop nobody from getting theirs, whether I feel like they deserve it or not. That ain't for me to say. I ain't ever gonna hate on nobody that is not as good as somebody else, but they get an opportunity to do something. My whole thing was, if we're giving out shit to people, if anybody should be getting shit, it should be the niggas that's funny, man, straight up. So I was seeing a lot of people who weren't as funny as other people, but they were moving faster. And I can't be who I am, and not only am I'm not the type of person to be like, man, I'm so far at this comedy shit, man, I'm better than everybody. I'm not the one saying that shit. But every show after show, people coming up to me, you was my favorite, you was the funniest one on the show, this, that, and the third, why you not over here yet, why you ain't doing this? So it's not me saying that shit, it's comics and audience members coming up to me telling me shit don't add up. If it's some shit to be handed out, I feel like the people that need to be getting it is the people that don't work for it and that show that they deserve it first. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be on the show and I'm the only funny nigga on the show. It's a difference between paying your dues and get handed shit and being told to accept it. And I feel like a lot of times I would say nothing because I'm gonna pay my dues regardless. I'm just go up and show. Like if it's 7 people on the show, my job ain't to be policing who else is funny. My job is to be funny, right? So I'm not gonna be on there and be like, oh, I can't do no show with this person because they not as funny as me. I ain't never been like that. But I also don't want to be on the show where I'm the only funny person on there. I ain't got to be the funniest, bro, because we there to do a show. I'm used to going somewhere like Dallas or Shreveport, and everybody on the ticket is a killer. Dead ass. The way I was seeing shit, I would walk around all of Austin, the open mics and the shows, the ticketed events, the paid shows, the free shows, the open mics. I go to this shit and I be on these shows and I be like, bro, I could bring 10 people from Shreveport, 10 people from Dallas, and they would kid. I wouldn't even be the funniest one on the show. And it is hard to see people in my own hometown that I know personally that deserve a lot more than what they're getting. And then I go to another place and see people not even remotely close to the people I know working their ass off. They can't touch none of us, but they're being pushed. I personally don't want to be the only black person around a bunch of white people, and the only thing y'all saying to me is some shit about how I'm black. Like, a dead ass don't want to be around that shit. Because when I'm around, if I'm around the only white person, I'm not gonna be like, hey, you white. That's some white people shit. I don't do that in conversation. We might do that shit on stage, maybe. But even then, bro, let's have better shit to say on stage. There's a lot of people that don't know when to stop trying to be a clown, trying to out funny each other, and don't none of it be funny. I don't want to hear 50 white guys come up to me and almost say the N-word. It's like 50 white people come to you and say, "What's up, my ninja?" I don't want to hear that shit. Just almost saying the N-word or trying to say it. Let's talk about something else. All my conversations don't have to be how I'm black. I can't end this video without giving a special thanks to my brothers, Matt Sargent and Garrett Tim. Man, I owe a lot to them while I stayed in Austin. A lot of this shit wouldn't have been possible without they. Got weight, got cash, 2 days. Safe house, safe house, safe.